trying to take this big monster down. It's epic.
It's so easy to create a community. It makes Diablo more of a social experience.
We've got fully enabled crossplay.
If you have an Xbox and your buddy has a PC, you're going to be able to group up.
Or you could play couch co-op. Two people on a couch can sit there and have a great experience.
We've created specific zones where players can engage in PvP.
If you go there, you can start swinging away at people. But you're also opening yourself up to being swung at.
If you're like really, really good, the game actually marks you as like a champion on the map. You basically become a loot pinata and everyone wants to chase you down.
The last story mission is really the beginning of a whole different part of the journey.
Now you're set up for the end game, and that end game is rich with things to do that allow you to get more and more powerful.
Whether it's new items or new dungeons or new Paragon boards, every single time you come back to play Diablo 4, there's going to be new stuff for you to experience.
And it's something that we're going to support for years to come.
I'm really excited for folks to get their hands on Diablo 4.
Just to see millions of people really enjoying the different options.
Through the campaign,
local events,
couch co-op,
Endgame,
PvP, it almost doesn't end.
And we are so close.
Punishment. We also added damage mitigation to monsters in Diablo 4, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to talk about. So we used to not have a damage mitigation for monsters. So monsters used to not have armor. So however amount the damage player deals, that's however amount of the damage the monster gonna take. So it has the advantage. It's pretty straightforward. It's really easy to understand. But it also has a problem that is wherever we want to increase the monster's defense power, the only way we can do it is through increasing the monster's hit point. Like we say, from level 31, monster from level 31 to 32, we want to increase their defense power or the time to kill by 10%. That means level 32 monster gonna have 10% more hit point or life than the level 31 monster. If you do this from level 1 to level 100, and at the end it ends up with a super big number, like a billions or even trillions. And for player to be able to kill this monster in a reasonable time, the player needs to deal like billions of damage. And in Diablo 4, we show this damage number as a floating combat text. We cannot hide it. And so because the number is so big, so long, it covers a big chunk of the screen.
Yeah, it's hard to understand too. Like,
yeah,
if you're reading, combat in Diablo is really fast. You want to be able to quickly understand how much damage you're doing.
Yes.
And we're trying to keep the numbers
up here, and maybe you can explain like what players are kind of experiencing, or like what they would experience when they're going through.
You brought a clip?
Yeah, I did. I found it.
Nice.
I found a clip.
Found a clip.
The stronghold you're looking at here, this is called Hope's Light. In the jagged shores of northern Scotland, there's this great lighthouse called Hope's Light, and its flame has been extinguished. The port town of Merwin nearby is particularly affected. It's the only port town in all of Scotland. They consider this a sacred place, and obviously the sailors of these perilous waters, they kind of rely on the lighthouse to navigate. So your kind of high-level objective is to just find a path through to the lighthouse and figure out what happened. As the player, when you arrive there, you notice the Drowned have risen. The Drowned are this brand new monster family in Diablo 4. They're these super mysterious creatures that kind of shamble up onto the shores from the depths of the sea, and they drag these like bells and mysterious idols with them. Nobody really knows like who they are or what they want. But one of the other things that we're super excited to kind of do with Strongholds is to try and showcase these monster families, kind of give you a glimpse into what they're about.
Yeah, because I know like back during BlizzCon, we actually BlizzCon 2019, when we revealed Diablo 4, we actually did showcase the Drown for the first time. And then since then, I know we had a quarterly update blog that talked a little bit about monster families, where we even talked about like familiars, for instance, and so forth that were up there. But like, yeah, this is kind of like the first like updated look I think people are seeing of the Drowned here in a stronghold, which is really cool to see.
Legendary.
Yeah.
I never even knew what it was because I was playing with the UI off. So. But actually, that might be going back to kind of strongholds at the system level, and kind of like why you, the player, might care. So strongholds, they provide you with a lot of really awesome rewards. Obviously, you slay a bunch of monsters, you kill a boss, you're going to get a bunch of XP and loot. Beyond that, strongholds also reward you with a high amount of renown. Renown is another new system in Diablo 4. And just to quickly summarize that, renown, it rewards you with engaging with various open world activities. You gain renown in each of the 5 regions of the game. And when you hit certain milestones of renown, you'll get rewards. You'll get really cool stuff like additional potion charges, skill points, even Paragon points at the later milestones. So yeah, but beyond all this, like strictly, gold, XP, loot, renown, beyond all this strictly character progression stuff, I mentioned before, conquering a stronghold has a lasting impact on the world and unlocks a bunch of additional content. When you've completed a stronghold, and in some cases you've kind of cleansed the evil as much as it can be in a world like Sanctuary, people feel safe enough to come back, and so some strongholds will actually become towns after they'll have vendors, waypoints. Other strongholds might unlock a shortcut path to a different area, a waypoint, side quests. Many strongholds actually unlock dungeons, so if you are hunting for aspects in the Codex of Power, or you're engaging with the Whispers of the Dead or Nightmare Dungeons endgame systems, you're probably really going to want to discover all these.
That's awesome. So yeah, just like the last stream we had, we talked a little bit about Codex of Power. So and obviously going through dungeons ends up unlocking or finding new codexes. So yeah, actually completing strongholds will unlock new dungeons that will let you get more codex or more powers within your codex itself. So it kind of like opens up more and more, especially with strongholds itself. That's awesome, and the fact that it's a lasting impact on the world is pretty crazy. Can you see strongholds like on the map, like as you're kind of like traversing through Sanctuary?
Yeah, absolutely. Just so like any other area of the game, it starts as kind of undiscovered space, and then once you've discovered it, they show up on the map. They have some iconography to let you know that, hey, there's a cool piece of content for you to go do here.
Nice. And players themselves will see tons of these all throughout, all like as Sanctuary that they can actually either maybe like do a little bit later or come back to and so forth on that side.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, there's multiple strongholds in every region, and one of the strongholds actually have a minimum level, so you might actually discover one that you're just under leveled for. There's nothing stopping you from trying to take it on, but you're probably gonna die
unless you're playing hardcore.
Then you make a new character, does it die?
Yeah, exactly. That's when you question it a little bit. Yeah. So, and that's another question we get a lot is like, is hardcore going to be in Diablo 4? And yes, it will be. So that's when you would question the idea of wanting to try to conquer a stronghold at a lower level. So, yeah. But yeah, with the and a lot, again, this is just a brand new feature for Diablo 4 in itself. So it actually allows you to essentially just continue to add additional content to the game and change the world completely, because the fact that you can actually get new waypoints or a whole new town that you can actually interact with new vendors and so forth from that side is also just completely like game changing from that end.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the new content that you unlock, it is also kind of like part of the renown system. So you complete a stronghold and you get side quests and dungeons, and all these things also feed into the renown system. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. Kind of completing a stronghold is kind of like only half of half of the feature, right?
Yeah.
And the other half is all the additional stuff that gets unlocked afterwards.
That's very cool. Yeah, Strongholds is sounding awesome. I know, like myself, I mean, I played. People will be able to play it here really soon. But the perks of working at...
You heard it here first. We played the game.
We played the game. The perks of working at Blizzard. But yeah, it most definitely is a cool feature, and I had Strongholds completely changed like the whole entire map, and just having like even a waypoint closer to wherever you need to go for a dungeon is also really great to have. So, of course, and art provided here, this footage here of a barbarian kind of going through. And I know this barbarian has got like some legendary type of gear and like some unique skills and so forth that are like kind of modified based off the gear. So trying to show off a little bit of a higher level barbarian for people because the bard is just a ton of fun to play.
Yeah, super fun.
Cool. Well, I know that we kind of went over a little bit about armor systems and the strongholds themselves. We do a lot of the feedback from the last stream is like, people were hoping that we spend a little bit more time on Q&A.